What's up again, guys? Yo, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahki. And welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay, if you've watched my last episode, this bot/TTS voice won't surprise you at all. And, yes, my voice is still fucked up as we speak. Well, a little bit better actually. But of course, a few more days of rest wouldn't hurt. Anyway, in the previous vid, we had a couple of awesome fights. First was against a spectator and a few of its unpetrified charmed drow. The next one was against the Kuo-Toa, aka the Menfish, or Gogglers, and Boo-Wal, the devious red cap who is posing as Baal, the Lord of Murder. And we've decimated them all in absolute brilliance. By the way, as per Baal, he is the antagonist deity of the prequel games, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And they're already dead at that time. In both games, you play as a Baal spawn, one of his many offspring. The Baal spawn sought to destroy each other. And once all of them are dead, Baal's essence will be freed, thus allowing for his resurrection. With the death of the last two Baal spawn, Abdul Adrian, one of the 4 Grand Dukes of Baldur's Gate at that time, and actually the canon name of your main character, the protagonist of the prequel games, and Viekang. Baal was resurrected in 1482 Dale Reckoning, of which, if my timeline calculations are spot on, happened more or less just 12 years prior, this third game. Not so long ago, if I may say. So maybe, just on pure speculation alone, Baal might really be involved in the story of this game. But obviously we can't know that for sure until the full release. Anyhow, enough with the lore. Let's move on with today's vid. We are venturing into the Arcane Tower to find specific mushrooms in order to help Omelium investigate the parasites in our heads. Anyway, this area in the Underdark is near where you land if you take the portal from the overgrown tunnel under Auntie Ethel's tea house at the Putrid Bog. By the way, I've momentarily dismissed Glut and the Bullet in the previous vid. And, in today's episode, they won't see action as well. Cause this is gonna be more of an infiltration mission, which requires a little bit of intricacy to pull off. And we don't need the big ass bullet for that. Alright, let's teleport down and march toward the Arcane Tower.
Scorched ground. Better watch out.
The place is guarded by arcane turrets that shoot you on sight. There are several ways to disable them. First is of course by attacking them. Another way is via activating the generator inside the building. And, lastly, is bringing along a Susur bloom, the flowers of a Susur tree. Upon getting exposed to its aura, the turrets temporarily shut down. But obviously once you move away, they will activate again. So, I'll just go with the first method. The simplest one. By shooting them with a ranged weapon. And Star will be up for this task. He will not go unaided however. I'll use Shadow's Blessing of the Trickster on him to boost his stealth. This may take a while, cause the turrets are quite resistant to piercing damage. This +1 light hammer is the first notable item in this place. Okay. These are the 6 floors of this tower. And, yes, there's a secret basement. But before everything else, the first mission is to disable the arcane turrets, and activate the elevator, via turning on the power generator, with a Susur bloom. But you don't need to bring along a flower, all the way from the big tree, at the west of the Underdark. There's a small Susur tree at the backyard of the building. To get to the backyard, you can either leap across the water from the big-ass mushrooms at the south of the tower, or jump your way down the balconies at the south side of the building. I will do the latter, cause there's a significant item here in the northern balcony of the main lobby. Proceed with caution, cause there are 2 turrets here. If you get hit, don't panic, cause they will not kill you instantly. Just take cover as quickly as you can.
Chest's magic. Its energy has me all a tingle.
This mundane chest appears to contain mere junk. But in truth, these are 2 spell scrolls, and a pair of magical boots. On a side note, if you have a Susur flower, upon opening this chest, you will clearly see past the illusion.
It's a scroll. What's this trickery?
Now, the description of these boots, Mistress Grace, is incomplete. It actually gives you the ability to cast the Feather Fall spell. So, I'm gonna equip that, plus the Shadow of Menzobo Ranzan, and use its invisibility to get to the opposite balcony, without getting hit by the turrets. Alright, let's use the Boots Feather Fall spell. to jump directly to the backyard without taking full damage. Now, let's pick up a Susa Bloom. This door can't be lockpicked, but you can simply bash your way through. Any weapon will work actually. But Star will just use Lae'zel's Susa Great Sword. Okay, let's power up the generator with a Susa flower. This rare amulet is the third notable item in this place. Alright. Let's meet up with Star in the mushroom floor, to pick up the stuff that Omelium needs. But before that, carefully observe as I read specific books and notes found in this building. The info that you'll learn from them will be crucial later, as we deal with the constructs of the workshop on the top floor.
Seems like the owner was quite the literary type.
Now, the first ingredient. A tongue of madness. And finally, some Tim Mask spores. Okay, let's explore the living quarters up above. This uncommon ring is the fourth notable item. And I'm gonna equip that on Star. Simply because it doesn't matter. Now, by equipping it, I will show you the use of this dog collar, which I got back in episode 22, in a dog's grave, near the Susur tree.
Clever. Food is dispensed for anyone wearing this collar.
Read carefully. So, the bullet was actually Lenore's pet. The mistress of this tower. I wonder if she's somewhere here, in her building. Alright. After gathering info from all those books and notes, finally we can go up to the workshop. Anyway, just keep track of my responses to the statements of the construct.
New sounds to the down and dark oppression break. Is it the foe? That foul, contemptuous heel?
You know these words. They're from the opening stanza of a play you found in this very tower.
Come out of love for me, not love for blood and steel. Come on as you see fit, my lord, my liege. If you do not believe the secret show, reveal the truth, give what you wish to see.
Okay, Bernard's gonna put something on the table. Let's follow him closely. The light cantrip is not what makes this uncommon ring very special. Equipping it reveals the secrets of this tower. Yes, it shows the button in the elevator that leads to the secret basement. However, I'm gonna do that later. First, we'll read the last substantial note to unlock another dialogue option from Bernard.
As you see fit, my lord, my liege. I'll hold on to them. There's all that I can do. I can't throw them away. I've never been that brave.
In previous patches, instead of this scroll, Bernard will give you a potion of flying. Which really doesn't work, so the devs just removed it entirely. Anyhow, the next interaction with Bernard isn't gonna be really rewarding, if I may say. But reveals something more about Lenore, instead.
Come on as you see fit, my lord, my liege. Of course, my love. Don't be afraid, sweet girl. What can I do? Would you like a hug? A hug? Come here. For just a moment.
His arms are too tight and too low for a comfortable hug, as if he's meant to be embracing someone slightly shorter.
Remember, you are loved, Lenore, so much. You're doing great. And everyone will be so proud of you. As I already am.
Alright. Now, let's wear the guiding light ring to unveil the elevator button to access the secret basement.
My ring lit up. Must have been linked to that button.
If you'd missed this secret floor, you would have missed this uncommon stuff as well. This secret passage, by the way, just brings us back to the generator. Okay. So, Lenore is nowhere to be found. And let's talk about her for a minute, shall we? In one of the chests inside the basement, you can find her diary. Her last entry was more or less a decade ago. And that she was being summoned back to Baldur's Gate, while in the apex of her research, here in the Underdark. She mentions that she will bring her ring with her. And most likely that ring was the guiding light. However, she left it with Bernard, and is currently in my possession. You know what? She didn't really leave for Baldur's Gate, but instead continued her research. And that was mentioned in the letter that I showed you earlier. Then, the bullet, her new pet after her dog died, ate her. Back in episode 20, after decimating the bullet in one round, we looted the slippery chain shirt from its corpse. And I've equipped that on Shadow. Cause its ability has something to do with healing. And healing related items like that are usually for clerics. Mind you, Lenore was a cleric of Mystra. So, yes. But obviously I'm not 100% on this. I say that the bullet had her as a snack. A tragic end to the last few lonesome years of her life, which she dedicated in pursuit of knowledge. Anyhow, enough with the theories. Let's bring some action to this vid. This is Bernard's stats. And, since I'm showing this to you, I'm sure you know what's gonna go down next. Yes. I'm gonna break the crap out of this hugging machine and the other constructs on this floor. Alright, let's do this.
Fronte nulla fides. Massive.
Be welcome in this house. I wait for your commands. But in its wake, it tramples everything. We'll kill the rest, so that the one can thrive.
Take you. Take you.
And that's how you make things easy. Unless you're a machine. Wielding this weapon is risky. Now, we're back here at the Myconid colony, to give Omelium what he needed. In order to enlighten us more about the tadpoles in our heads. Take note. There are several saving throws or, if I may say, ability checks that you need to pass in this convo. And they are either wisdom or int. Since I'm a wizard, obviously I'm gonna go for intelligence.
I greet you, child of the sun. How has your search for the mushrooms fared? These are fine specimens. It will only take me a moment to brew them to proper potency.
Ormelium turns away to prepare the potion, lost in its own musings.
You must drink the entire draught. I can make no promises as to its taste. It will lower the psionic defenses around the lava. If I cannot remove it, I may still be able to tell you more about its origin.
The potion is disgusting beyond description. The only mercy is that it goes down quickly.
Not a drop left. Very good. As the potion influences your mind, You may find yourself acting irrationally. Try and stay focused.
The world loses its edges, its finer boundaries. You are fluid, but trapped, like a creature suspended in amber. A few sparks and colours dance around Ormelium, but you stay steady and staring ahead. The tadpole spasms, seizes. It's fighting the potion even harder than you are. Fear pierces your mind like knives of ice. The parasite digs deeper, as if it means to hollow out your skull. The cold blades lose their edge. You are stalwart, turning that tide of fear against itself. The parasite swells with power, more power than you have ever felt before. It surges and twists, lashing out against that which would dare to intrude. The parasite in your mind quiets, pleased with itself.
Ormelium, are you well?
That lava is like nothing I have ever observed before. Its power is unsettling. Such an outcome was not in my calculations. There is more to this being than mere stasis. Indeed, although I may have another solution, albeit a temporary one, I possess a ring of mind shielding. It prevents elder brains from noticing my presence. It will not remove the lava, but it will limit its influence, both positive and negative. I would offer it as a gift, but in truth, the ring is priceless. Is there anything you could offer me in turn? A fascinating topic indeed. What can you tell me? Brilliant experience. To feel one step closer to my ancestors is a fine gift indeed. Here, it is yours. May it serve you as well as it has served me.
That thing better work. If it doesn't, I doubt you'll be in any position to complain.
Of course. The lava remains. Be ever vigilant of its growth.
Have you spoken with Skris lately?
Yes, she is cataloguing Kuotoan fertility rituals.
This is the rare ring that Ormelium gave me, in exchange for sharing detailed info on the Nautiloid. And of course the new skill I've learned, as a result of passing all the checks. Repulsor. And if it seems badass. 'Cause it is indeed badass. It is, if I may say, like your typical RPG Nova spell. But with a hard push. And on top of that, it gives you action surge. same as the one that Lae'zel has, which allows you to do another action on the same turn. However, take note. Equipping the ring disables the use of Repulsor. Anyway, after that convo, Omelium will become another trader. And his wares include another notable item worth buying.
Oh,
I greet you, son child.
Actually, I don't need it, but will be a fine addition to my collection.
May your travels be safe and swift.
And that's all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya on my next vid. Peace out, yo.